one of the number one things that we have an issue with, and it's about every third or fourth person, is they don't read instructions and they don't follow instructions. And I'm just going to say this to you guys: when you get docs from us, this is the most important thing you are ever going to do in your life. The documentation process of our documents is fundamentally critical. Example: you get your passport documents, your explanatory statements, you go get them notarized. You have to make a complete photocopy of that notarization and everything before you submit the documents. Critical. You got to start creating your file where you have responses. You got to make sure every response is loaded up on your ticket. Some people will get a response and hold them for 2 months. And we're like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I thought you got it. Why would you think we get it? You applied. This is on you. Comes to your mailbox. Why do you think we got it? And they go, oh, I'm sorry, or whatever it is. And they load up the document. So this is where it's critical, because this is life changing. This is your freedom. You can't, I mean, there's some things that we can correct the record with, but I'm begging you to read the instructions 2 or 3 times that come with each document and start following the instructions, because that is super important. Now, there's no easy way to get through the living in the private program, except when you hire a service like us. And it's because we have coordinated all of our documents to fit each contract that you have. And if anybody understands subject matter jurisdiction, a warrant or an indictment, the reason why our living in the private program is kind of like a bulletproof, like wearing a Kevlar vest, the fattest one possible, the best technology, and the best protection. The reason why it is like that is when you look at a warrant or indictment and you understand the mechanics of how they gain subject matter jurisdiction, it's critical that you realize this. The living in the private program reverse engineered warrants and indictments and created a process that allows you to live in the private and to be completely exclusive under God, which is what a state of the union citizen is. And that takes going through all your major and minor adhesion contracts. It takes an understanding of registration and how you can move paid for vehicles into private foundation, asset protection 101, how you can move a house where you are a joint tenant. People don't realize this. I'm a real estate broker by trade. I've done thousands of loans. I've left that business in 2008. There's a lot of fraud in that business because there's no loan being given. And I don't want to get into that with you guys, but the title's the bigger fraud than the loan, the title. You go look at old titles and you have meets and bounds. That's the land. It's not a legal description. Okay. Legal description is federal territory. It's a trademark federal territory. So when you are taking and using Federal Reserve notes, you're recording something in your all caps name. That's the birth certificate that they own. And you are saying, yes, I am a tenant, and you're using, all the elements of everything on that deed that makes the home the state's. Well, I went down to a county recorder and I figured out I can record anything, any style, any way I want. It's my deed. And so we do by gold, by hand, meets and bounds. We record it in a foundation's name. I know I'm missing something. Bottom line is we privately affect the house, the property, the land. And that is the way to understand that our living in the private program not just deals with you, it deals with your assets, your bank accounts, your home, your other assets. We have people that are bringing literally millions and millions and millions of dollars in assets to the table and asking for help. And we're 100% supporting them all the way through them personally, and they're living in the private program experience to be a state citizen. And then the other stuff, you know, all the stuff that's currently out there and under the control of the corporate United States. And there's nothing illegal, there's nothing unlawful, there's nothing that's vaguely irresponsible. This is just simply the law. And my next couple of videos this week, I'm going to be showing all of the case law supporting state citizenship. You guys are going to be blown away. It's going to absolutely excite people because it's not national. It's not national of the United States. It's not state national. It's not American national, because all of those under 8 USC 1101A21 mean you are a product of the United States. You are saying you are in territory. All of those are tricks. And I've talked about that in other videos.